think that when you have dementia or Alzheimer's that you're just in a nursing home, that's it, and you're just watching TV and you're unable to do anything, and that is far from the truth. There is still so much that residents with dementia and Alzheimer's can give and talk about and do. They can still share stories and participate in activities, and they're one of my favorite populations because you just never know what they're going to say, what they're going to do, what they can do. Me too. And it's amazing. Yeah.
Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And I am back with Chateau Retirement, and we are talking about a very amazing program for those who have Alzheimer's and dementia, and that is their Chateau Gardens program. And it is amazing what I'm learning about this incredible program. And of course, Derek, you've been at the forefront of all this, and your team. We just got done talking with Amanda, talking about care. Now we have who's back again, Lacy Steed. And I think, Lacy, I met you down at Chateau Valley Center before. Yep. So now here we are up in Lynnwood. And, I am so interested in the whole Chateau Gardens, expansion and what happened over at your Chateau Bothell Landing community and how it is being enhanced throughout all of your network now. Yeah. So Lacy, tell me a little bit about you being on this task force. How did this all come to be, and what did you learn?
It's been great. So like Derek and Amanda have said, we did a lot of research on this. I would say right now probably about 2 years that we've been doing this. We went and visited other communities. We spoke to a lot of staff, residents, family members, higher up leadership. We went to, probably over 15 or more communities across the state, really, because we were just trying to get a vibe of what people are doing, what works and what doesn't. And it was really eye-opening. And I think that the Chateau Gardens I hope it becomes just something that is the norm, not the exception. It
sets the benchmark of a new model.
It does.
And I think one of the things that you guys now keep talking about is treating the individual, not the disease. And that it's a simple thing, like what you said, Derek, about it's a simple thing, and yet how many people forget that very important piece. And this has kind of been the center of everything that you're doing. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you're obviously oversee activities. Now, activities in dementia, people don't necessarily think that there's a piece to that. How does that evolve into your role here with Chateau Garden?
It's a huge piece, actually. People think that when you have dementia or Alzheimer's that you're just in a nursing home, that's it, and you're just watching TV and you're unable to do anything, and that is far from the truth. There is still so much that residents with dementia and Alzheimer's can give and talk about and do. They can still share stories and participate in activities, and they're one of my favorite populations because you just never know what they're going to say, what they're going to do, what they can do. Me too. And it's amazing. Yeah, I love it.
And kind of to tie back to the previous segment of what Amanda was saying, some of the activities is what can create some of that light bulb moment for residents, the music bringing that light back in people's eyes. For me, I was talking in the first segment about my mom having been diagnosed with dementia early. She, up until the very end, was able to play piano without you put sheet music in front of her and she could just play. She couldn't even hardly talk, but she could play, and it's like you could see it in her eyes. It was like created this something in her brain that just lit her on fire in such a good way. And so the idea is we want to create that light and that spark through the activities and everything else we do, and create those spark moments when we can. And so much of what Lacy's department and the activities will play a huge role.
And to speak off of that, it's a huge piece. Music therapy, pet therapy, anything that we can do to just get them engaged and get that spark going, because you will see just a light bulb go off and just such sheer joy when they think of something, or a memory pops up and they hear Amazing Grace or something, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So really what we're trying to do is we are trying to incorporate ways for them to be active. Even though it's a locked unit and it's a safe unit, we want them to walk around, be engaged. So a big part of the Chateau Gardens is I did a lot of research on different companies across the country, and I found this company called Arch Design, and they're located in Florida, and they do amazing senior living tactile wall art. And so, yes, and what that is it's any piece of art that you can think of that you would want to be on your wall that the residents can touch so that they can get just a sense of, appreciation and just sensory, tactile, everything. Get those neurals, synapses firing, everything. So what we did is I worked with Tamara, who is our chief of staff, and we thought about, it's Pacific Northwest. What would we like to have in our Bothell unit specifically? So we did a lot of Boys in the Boat stuff at UW. Pacific Northwest is very, hike, mountain, everything. So water, everything. So
You got to have the water.
Gotta have the water. So everything that you see in our Bothell memory care unit, you can touch.
Wow.
Elicit memories, and that's what it's there for. And that's the whole point of it. And eventually, what we're currently working on is getting that going at our Lynnwood community and our Renton community.
Amazing.
Yes, truly an incredible company.
Absolutely amazing. And obviously that connection to, the tactile, again, is another one of those senses that, I have seen, they holding a baby, a doll, those things like that. That's part of that tactile, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So we do doll therapy. We've actually purchased really nice new babies that will breathe and feel like actual dolls that the residents just love to hold and touch and care for. And so speaking on that, we actually, at all of our communities, we are working on creating life skill stations. And what those are little vignettes of little places. So for instance, like a laundry area or a makeup maintenance area where the residents can just go and sit and tinker and play and just go back to their days of working or getting ready for work, anything. And they're very effective and they're amazing. And then you buy, surrounding art to go around the area, just so it's your home. And we even have an office space where we bought an old school typewriter and a Rolodex and anything that you can think of from their era. This was a very long process and a project that I've even, I spoke to my parents about, and anyone in my family that was older, that I'm like, what did you guys have in your house when your parents were younger that these residents would remember? So I think
that's amazing.
One of the big things that sets us apart is we genuinely care. We want the residents to feel at home and not institutionalized. And they're still a productive member of society.
It's so funny when you say that, because my mom, when we moved her into Chateau Pacific years ago, I decided I was going to be the good daughter. My mom had all this old furniture that was tattered and torn. Well, I decided to buy her all new furniture and surprise her. That was a bad thing. It was a good intention. But you were absolutely right that there's this element of connection, that this isn't my home. My mom didn't feel like she felt like she was in a hotel.
Yes.
Right.
And I couldn't believe it. And it was like this, one of the big mistakes that I made.
Trying to do best.
As a daughter that I didn't know any better. Yeah. And that's probably one of the reasons why I started what I do now, because families, we don't understand necessarily the needs of a senior, and especially as they feel more vulnerable, they want to hang on to what's most familiar. And I think that's one of the things that you guys have really been able to identify with, with the tactile art and making sure that those senses are still prevalent even as the memory starts to fade. Because then, the brain is such a unique thing in the fact that other senses will be enhanced. Isn't that true?
That is very true. And speaking of sensory, so I've looked into, there is a company called Aromas Impressions. And it's not like your typical oil diffusers that you would have in your house. It is a scientifically based product that they will that they work on to elicit memories for older adults.
Wow.
Yes, and it is very fine mist that you can't even see. It won't be overbearing. And it's just light enough that you can walk into memory care and it's just a very lovely smell. You could smell any season you want. Summer, lavender, first mahogany, anything to elicit responses. So change out that smell every, I think, 45 days.
Wow.
And you would never know that it's there. And it just makes it smell homey and lovely and just.
Well, it's not the same thing. It's actually bringing in new stimulus into the brain. And that's the thing, I think, that what you're talking about is all these tactile stations. You're meeting people where they are. So probably a certain group will gravitate towards some kinds of things. What are you finding? How is that making a difference?
I'm finding that they really love just being able to fiddle. They love being able to go to all the life skill stations and just see what it's about.
Yeah.
Just touch I'm allowed to do this. I can touch literally anything I want. I can be fine, and it will help, it'll calm them down. It helps us with everything as well we're finding.
I can't wait to go there and tour this amazing memory.
Yeah.
We had one resident that comes to mind for me who, she was one who really likes just her own space. She would rather just watch TV. She just would rather do her own thing, which part of our process. We meet people in their journey. However, it's nice to see them come out of their shell. So this resident saw the vanity life skill station that we put up, the mirror with all these different costumes, and I just saw her as we were putting it up. She was kind of eyeballing it in the corner of her eyes. She's watching TV, and then sure enough, when no one was around, she went over there and put on a necklace and had this big smile on, and just the little moments, that engage people in some ways that you just wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I can only imagine, and I can only imagine too the feeling that families have when they come visit. I mean, how have you seen the reaction from the families that may have had, before you did the expansion? How has that affected your current residents that you've?
I've gone in there on the weekends just to see kind of how it goes. When less people are in there, and there are families in there, and they have little grandkids, and the kids are playing, and they're with their grandparent, and it's the best thing ever. Anyone can participate with it.
I love this.
Anyone can be a part of it. It's not just older adults. The care staff, they'll be going and they'll sit at the vanity with the residents and they'll brush their hair and they'll put makeup on, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Fabulous. Yeah. Fabulous. Lacey, Derek, this has been incredible. Thank you so much for all you do for our seniors, and especially this amazing program. I am blown away.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.